Hey everybody, Scratch Buffalo Chris here, talking to you outside. We're outside in sunny California.
It sure is sunny
In here in
in
California.
California.
Today we're talking
What's that
about
song?
sunny
Another sunny day in California, yay. I'm sure back home they'd love to see it. What band is that? Yellow Card.
I've never heard of them.
Someone's having barbecue over there. We are interrupting their barbecue.
So,
Continue.
Today we're talking about day jobs. Jobs we had during the daytime.
In the past.
In the past.
Not currently.
Mark wants to leave his current job secret.
Yep.
But I'll tell you my current job. Go first, Mark. What was your first job?
My first job that I was paid by someone who wasn't related to me would have probably been McDonald's when I was 15 years old.
Nice.
I believe I went in when I was 14 for an interview, and they said, yo, you got to be 15. And I said, cool. So then I went back, I think a day after I turned 15, and I got the job.
Nice.
I think they asked me a silly question. And he was like, when have you had to make two decisions at the same time? And then I had a really stupid story about when one of my dogs got off the leash, but then I also had to make sure the other dog didn't get away.
Did you make up the story, or was it true?
It was true. It happened while we were at the lake once, but if I was hiring that kid, I would have not hired me because that was a really stupid answer.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it was the Mick answer.
Brother, we cut that too.
What did you do after McDonald's then? Job 2.
So I worked at McDonald's through high school, and then I got a job with Schlumberger.
Fitness.
Yep. And I worked there for a few years.
What did you do?
Shop hand.
I don't know what Schlumberger does, actually.
Oil and gas stuff.
ONG.
I fixed things that go down the holes. They got rusty and muddy.
Oh, wow.
We cleaned them. We put them back together.
So you were fracking.
No, I was in the shop. The people who leave the shop do the fracking. Yeah. I was contributing to it, though. No, terrible.
All right.
Then I think I went to school, Mount Royal.
Did you work while you were at Mount Royal?
Not the first few years.
Nice.
Then I came back to Brooks for the summer to work. Schlumberger was like, sorry, can't hire you, even though it was a family friend. Can't hire me. They didn't have the payroll.
Cold.
So then one of the other guys who worked at Schlumberger, this is going to be a really long story,
Good.
got a job at Weatherford,
What did
which is the same thing, but a different company, competitor. And he got me a job there for significantly less pay. But I needed a job because I couldn't get a job anywhere. That was that. Went back to Calgary, Mount Royal.
Mm-hmm.
Another summer I went back. I don't know why I keep going back to Brooks for the summer because I could have made more money here. Couldn't get a job at Weatherford. Went and talked to the boss. Nope. Anyway, I got back for the summer. Couldn't get a job at Weatherford this year, whatever year it was. So then I got a job at Volker Steffen. Doing roadkill cleanup.
Oh my.
Doing crack filling with the rubber goo. Cleaning truckers' restrooms on the number 1 highway.
Oh my god.
Changing all the garbages along the number 1 highway and the surrounding area. So like past Tilly and like all those weird places. Holding the stop and the slow sign when there was a big construction thing going on.
So private companies do that?
Yeah, Volker Steffen. They do most of it. Worked there in the summer. Garbage pay, but excellent overtime. Every day was like 15-hour shifts. I also...
It was a crappy job, but at least you got to do it a lot.
Yes. Yeah. But then on the weekends, because they didn't often have weekend shifts, I worked at the Car and Dart Wash, the brand new one in Brooks, yeah. So I made like $10 an hour there on the weekends. But then when I got overtime pay, my other job, I would call them last minute and say, hey, I can't come in because I'm going to make 4 times the pay.
And they didn't mind.
No, they were really cool because they just wanted competent people to work because they had so much trouble.
To wash cars and dogs.
No, so I would work in the cashier.
Okay.
So I'd clean out the bays after muddy trucks, and then I would sell people things like air fresheners, and then I would empty the coins at the end of the night. I'd never stole any. Good. But they let us keep the coins out of the vacuum thing. That was like our tip.
Vacuum coins.
But you have to dig through the vacuum pots, which I didn't do because it was disgusting.
So you left money for other people?
It just went in the garbage, brother.
Ah.
It's like if you look in and there's a handful of cord, like a loonie or something, you pull it out. But I'm not going to dig through the vacuum bin.
Yeah.
And then you also pull the hair out of the drain in the dog baths.
And you got to keep that as well as a tip.
You could choose to. Hey, there's the bird family. And then I also delivered Chinese food for my now wife's parents.
Chinese restaurant.
Were very generous. I got to keep all the tips, and I got the $4 delivery fee.
Nice.
So that really helped me save up for school. And then I also did babysitting for her little sister,
Nice.
which they paid me for, and they paid me free food.
Sweet. Can't
Yeah.
beat that.
I think that was it. And then I came back to Mount Royal, and then Leanna was like, I'm not going back to Brooks. I don't want to. And I was like, well, if you're not going, I'm not going. And then I got a job at the Buck or Two in Signal Hill.
Like the dollar store.
Yep. And I worked there for almost 2 years.
Wow.
And then I continued to work there when I got a job at Alberta Health Services as part-time while I was still a student. And then I worked at the Buck or Two on the weekends, which sucked because it was like an 8 a.m. shift. And then I eventually quit the Buck or Two, and now I work at my secret job,
That you
which I just mentioned. Yeah.
We can beat it out if you want. Okay, so now it's my day jobs.
Yeah.
So, my first job was I worked at... Well, I needed a job because I wanted to buy a bass guitar. And the bass guitar I wanted to buy was $450.
Is that the one you still have?
Yes. Maybe it was $250. Or $425. It was an amount of money. So I got a job at Little Caesars. And I worked there for 2 days. Then I got a job at McDonald's. And I worked there for 2 years. Then I refereed hockey.
They pay you well for that?
No, like $16 a game. Which is not enough.
Under the table.
I did not like it. Everyone shouts at you. I would like say something was a goal, and then like one team would get mad and I'd say it's not a goal. Never mind, I was wrong. Then the other team would shout at me, so I said no, it is a goal. And the other team would yell, and it was not good. After referee and McDonald's, I worked at Chili's,
Yeah.
dishwasher. Worked my way all the way up to the flat top grill.
We like flat tops.
Yeah, flat top grill was good stuff. And then I was a missionary for
Mhm.
like a year on a
They
music.
pay you well?
They did not. I had to pay.
But, pay to play. Brother.
Exactly.
We're familiar with that.
We went to India and England. It was a music team, music and arts. And then when I got back, what did I do?
There's a UPS stint.
Oh no!
That was far after.
Oh yeah, I worked as I actually owed the missions company money when I came home, even though I came home early. I owed them a considerable amount of money, so I became a receptionist for them to pay them back. And then I worked at Starbucks. Oh, I also worked at a place called Coffee and Scream.
Oh, man.
Yeah, which is like an
Terrible.
ice cream place that also had coffee and
And
playground
kids.
equipment.
We've been there with the family. It's
Oh,
loud.
It's not there anymore. Shut it down.
Recently?
Yeah, in the past year or two.
Oh, we went there, I thought last year for someone's birthday.
No.
Maybe
Could've
year
been
before.
last- Yeah, it would have had to be.
Darn.
And then I worked at, oh my, I sold cell phones. Then I sold hot tubs. That for Jacuzzi brand hot tubs.
Of course, yeah.
And then at Jacuzzi, I did like newspaper comics
Wow.
for them. Like,
Yeah.
They would buy these ads. And then I worked at summer camp as a camp counselor.
You get paid well for that?
Nope. Videographer, that was a cool one.
Paid well for that?
Oh, millions. And then I managed a warehouse.
Paid well for that.
Pretty well.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was all right. But I only worked part-time.
Okay.
And then when I didn't work part-time, I was paid more, which is how I've seen it often go.
Sometimes jobs work like that, yeah.
And then I briefly had a job doing graphic design for a learning company. That it didn't go well. We didn't see eye to eye on.
Oh,
They wanted me to steal content.
it's not allowed.
I also wanted to surf the internet while working, so they let me go. Which, you know, artistic differences.
Yep.
And then I got my graphic design diploma and my web design diploma. Became a stay-at-home dad and work freelance when I'm not a dad.
Did you say UPS?
Oh, and then after that, I got a job at UPS while doing all the other things. But now I don't work at UPS. But I work for UPS sometimes,
And
doing
you
their graphic
posters.
design. Yeah, like so now I do freelance design
Freelance.
and at-home
Set
dad.
my own hours. I'm
I
boss.
do make posters.
At least you're not your own boss, but you set your own hours.
I am my own boss. The people are my clients.
Oh, okay.
They're
okay.
my clients.
Okay.
Yes, but I'm the
Boss us
boss.
around.
Yeah.
Mm. Cool.
So I get to go on breaks when I say I can, and
I could have 2 coffee breaks. You can have 2, yeah.
I just have coffee breaks all day.
Well,
Yeah, so those are our day jobs. that we do. Scratch Buffalo's day jobs. I'm sure we missed some.
I miss none.
Wow. Okay, thanks for watching. Scratch Buffalo. Day jobs.
Buy some t-shirts.
Day jobs.